Hey everyone, today's just info day. What do I do? What do? Hi, how's everybody doing? I was on my Instagram, but I wasn't really feeling it. So I opted out of my Instagram and then decided to come over here. So I want to talk about something that came up today about my nursing career and how many times I've taken the hepatitis B shot. It's required in nursing, and as well as getting a PPD and getting a glomerin shot if you have a needle stick, which I had one of those um, earlier in my career in nursing. So I thought it was really, really interesting when that happened to me. But it was kind of interesting because it was just on the factors of the way I recapped the needle. I laid the cap down and I went and scooped it up like you always do. And then when I went to slide it and lock it on there so I could dispose of it, the needle literally came through the side of the cap and stuck me. So because the hepatitis shot is like a 2 or 3 step process. You have to take the I believe it's 3 shots together. Um, but they're spread out. So you take the first one, then you go take the second, then you take the third. I've taken a lot of those because if you miss the second dose, you got to pretty much start all over. So a lot of times, if I was transferring to different hospitals or whatever, I had to keep retaking it. And I think today when I sat down and thought about it, and I said, "Wow, I wonder how in many of those Hep B's I had to take, and that I ended up taking." And I think I counted 9, almost 12, because I had to keep restarting. I think for sure 9, for sure 9. So I said, "That's a lot." And then when I was listening to the doctor, he was giving a report out and he was talking about how certain ones can interfere with your body response and cause inflammation in the body. Because then I started thinking, I said, well, I didn't develop fibromyalgia until mainly after my second bout of cancer in the lymph. That's when I really started getting that. But lymph, anything that you get in your lymph system is when the lymph system backs up is because you're not filtering it. It's not coming out. It's slow. So you're storing, your system is slow. So, and I never understood that because I was really, really active. I did a lot of aerobics back in that time, aerobicized, step aerobics. Oh my gosh. I did a lot of that and I was doing those type of things and I was really active, but I did have lymph problems. And then going into nursing and then just constantly working, that started developing that. So I thought it was really interesting because he really was breaking down how it was made, and he mentioned aluminum. So, being a cancer survivor, I have gotten off of everything with aluminum. I don't use fluoride toothpaste. I don't use any kind of aluminum type of deodorant. Like my biggest deodorant I used to use back in the day was Secret. Love Secret and Ban. Love Secret and Ban. I used to use it all the time. Had to stop using it because it had aluminum in it. And so I stopped using that. And I went totally to the natural salts, to the natural clay type of deodorant, a lot of essential oils. And it's so much better for my body, so much better for this pineal gland because certain things hardens this up so you can't see, or you're not having control of self or union. hmm So that's why you hear a lot about people that give that up. And I thought it was really interesting when that happened. I started really getting into this researching of stuff of myself. How can I make my body? I went from, how do I put it? I went from being nursey to, oh my gosh, I need to research this, you know. And I remember a lady once had said to me, because I was so believing in everything in my nursing world and the doctors and everything, and I was all scientific. I even remember my grandmother, she was totally into herbs and all the healing things, and she would go out in the yard and go pull up an herb and make a tea and give it to me. I was like, what the hell is this? And she's like, it's medicine from the earth, you need to take this. And I'm like, that's what doctors are for. Let me go to the doctor and go get something. What is this? You taking it up out of the yard. And I remember my grandma, um, she is like my adopted grandmother. I adopted her. Well, she pretty much was raising me when my parents would go to work. So we would get, picked up, and she'd come, and then when we would have holidays, we go and stay up in Clear Lake and stay with the family there. So it was always like a grandma, straight up, just grandma. And she said to me, one day, Felicia, you're going to have to look into natural ways of healing your body, because Creator has given us everything that we need to heal our bodies. Our bodies can heal themselves if we give it the right thing, what it needs, and totally believe and trust in how your body can heal. And here's the thing. My grandmother, Louise, bless her heart, loved her dearly. She would always say, you got to stay positive. You got to stay happy. You got to stay up, because your body needs that. And I was just like, but I don't feel like I'm upset and I'm tired and I don't know, this has happened. And she said, but you still got to be able to keep your energy up and stay happy. And I was just like, okay. No negative thoughts, no negativity. Now, when you think about it, I would have never thought in a billion years that I was being prepared for my journey that I'm on in this lifetime right now. I would have never ever put that together. I would have never put together the three most important grandmothers that were in my life was my mom's mom, and then my mom's mom's mom, my great 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 grandmother. Now, this is why I titled the video "What Do?" What do? Um, and then Grandma Louise, and then from there I started meeting other women, sage women, I call them. When you're a sage woman, you stand in your divineness of wisdom in your aging process, as you're going up in your aging. And I really remember all the things that these grandmothers in this lifetime have given me, the greatest gifts. And this is what it really means when you're sitting back and you're reflecting and looking at things in the world, and you're sitting back and saying to yourself, this is perfect message right here. Divine alchemy. You're sitting back and you're asking yourself, what the hell is going on this planet? How did I end up here right now at this time on this planet with all the things that I've experienced in my life? You know, um, it really kind of gives you a different perspective of, this is my life. This is my life. I was born onto this planet, breathing and living my life, having experiences as a human being, because I was in spirit form first, and then I came into my human self to be here. So it really brings things into perspective of learning how to really be a human being. We have a lot of different human beings. Here it comes, you ready? Because Spirit has anchored in. I am no longer responsible for what's about to come out of my mouth. Watch out. Because it's Spirit talking. So, being a human being, just being, there's things that have happened to us 455,000 years ago. I'm going to keep bringing that number up because some of you don't understand the significance of that number, of how we ended up where we are right now. Hypoxia, bacterial pneumonia. Okay? Double tap. So I kind of like that. Spirit brought that in. The double tap. So you have to realize that today I was hearing the word soul takers. Soul takers. Now here's the thing. This is just totally beyond my comprehension of certain things that people like to do on this planet. But, in the music industry, there needs to be, and I like how I just opened it up, integrity, which is kind of lacking in the music industry. It's not there. Integrity is missing. And what's so sad is because I saw this video with, I think it's little Nas or something, and because Infinite Waters was talking about it and he was breaking it down. So, like code work and stuff like that. And I didn't know what the hell was going on in this video, Montano, whatever. Anyway, when he was talking about it, I was just like, what? And I went and watched the video. Hold on a second. Somebody is not getting a clue. I'll have to read that later. Something didn't happen. Something went down. So here's the thing. I was really shocked when I saw that video. Now I go back to my grandmother's, how these grandmothers taught me about wisdom. They all had something precious to give me. And my great-great-grandmother loves to talk to me all the time. She loves to show up into my healing rooms. She has helped a lot of people. When I worked at the spa in Prana was the room that was my room. And people would come in, and the spirit of my great-great-grandmother would come in and work with me on someone and would tell me, look at this, check this, blah, 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 go here, go take fingers, put here on the spine, move this, da, 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 this, she's blocked here, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she's not speaking her truth. And blah, 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 blah. My grandma would just be in there reading people right and left. And then I would just say, I would do the, so my grandmother says, or I would be like, so where is the last place you were while you're having energy happening in your house? Why do you have spirits chasing you in your house? Where was the last place were you? Oh, at the cemetery. Oh, well, there you go. So the wisdom of the grandmothers and what they left me with and how they still talk to the stars. And I find it very interesting how we have a higher will. Trust me, there's a reason for this video. It's coded. Okay. So, after kind of researching and looking at things today and reflecting on about the hepatitis things and how many I've had in my body, and oh my gosh, what kind of damage is it doing? Lucky enough, I did a lot of hot yoga and I sweated out a lot of toxins and metals and stuff and excretions and all of that to get those metals out and detox. Thank God. I probably did a lot of really good for my body. So now getting back on a regimen, getting my body going again and getting out of that energy of being that, because I am a true divine rebel. And so are you. We're going to be a true divine rebel. Yes, yes, yes. Because if we're not doing this, we're going to keep having the results we're having currently right now. I was just really happy and excited to find out how Florida and Texas is like wide open. No mask mandates, no nothing. They're open. They're living their lives. And we're still here in La La Land playing these games. And New York is doing the same thing, playing games. Because somewhere along the line, I said Spirit was going to talk. There's going to be a sacred revel. Mm-hmm. And look at the goddess number. This is number 46. This is Kali. I think every woman needs to call in Kali to get this going. What would happen if everybody just stood up? More of us than them. That's for doggone sure. A lot of people say that. And there's a lot of things changing in very rapid ways. Information is getting out, which is really good. The truth speakers, called the truth speakers. And today I was kind of in this place of learning about astral travel, and I know all about that, and remote viewing, and especially astral travel and remote viewing. And I just found myself not very thrilled with that ship, because it started reminding me too much of what that ship represented, with beings that are no longer on this planet. Yay! I'm so happy, because as long as they're not on this planet anymore, they cannot reincarnate and come back in doing the same thing that they have been doing over and over and over. They can't come back in through that beautiful energy, because they have been taken off of this planet beyond that blue atmosphere. I find it really interesting. Here we go. Are you paying attention? Please pay attention. Dun, dun, dun. You remember that movie Time Cop? Remember when I was telling you guys a long time ago you need to be watching the movie Time Cop? That was with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Back in his days when he was so fine, so sexy, so dangerous. In that movie, they talk about the timelines and they talk about how two people, this this Benny and this Benny cannot be in the same timeline and they cannot touch because if they touch, they pull together and become one and then they literally destroy themselves. They become non-existent. I find it absolutely fascinating how those movies leave you, because I would always say to my mom, I said, these movies are so fantastic because they're so sci-fi, so imaginative. It just makes you wonder, is it really sci-fi? Or is it someone getting out a message? Just kind of like planting the seeds, just planting the seeds. You need to watch Movie Time Cop if you haven't already. And you need to watch it from a very receiving the message. Because when you're awake, I don't ever plan on going back to sleep. Anyway, when you're awake, you see things very clearly. The game just doesn't stick anymore. And that movie, Time Cop, with Jean-Claude Van Damme, is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, take that movie after you watch that one, and then go back around, remember. I wanted you to take a look at the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger called Eraser. Now, they've been bringing it on lately. And I want you to pay attention not to the news on regular TV. Don't do that because news stands for negative environmental word service. It just simply means it's just not, just don't pay attention to that. Watch the advertisement of how these certain channels like FX, Freedom, Paramount, HBO, a lot of different sci-fi channel, TV, TBS, TNT, AMC, these channels, watch what they're running movie-wise. Pay attention, because that's code. That's straight up code. They're running these things. And the commercials. I saw a commercial last night that was quite interesting. It was a car commercial, and I think it was Kia. Or was it Audi? Might have been an Audi. I think it was Audi. Might have been Audi. Where all their cars that they had in that advertisement were blue. Audis, blue. What does blue represent? Who does it represent? I'm just saying, might want to take a look at that. And then top off your movies with Sixth Day. The Sixth Day. That's another one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, why am I telling you about that? Well, because, when I watched that movie back in the day and then I come back and watch it awake, it's straight up all about cloning. And how he got cloned, somebody else was in his house with his wife and his kids, and he's watching it. He's watching this thing, the clone of him, in a house with his wife and child. Now, what gave it away is that the dog died, and the little girl was devastated over the dog. So he went to the cloning center and got another clone of the dog. But the little girl figured it out. And she said, this is not my dog. She figured it out. Oh, you got me one of these cloning, like the cloning dog things. She kind of figured it out. They were trying to push it off like that. But he's watching this whole thing play out. And what's so interesting about the movie, The Sixth Day, there is this one lady in there who she'd been cloned so many times. And every time wherever the clone falls apart at or dies or whatever, that's the last part of that memory it has. So when they cloned her again, she woke up, she wakes up cussing and all these kind of funny because that's the last image that she had. So they feed that back into the memory. It's just utterly amazing how long they've been doing that, making such movies that are so sci-fi. I don't know. My grandma always told me what isn't is, and what is isn't. She said if you master that and you look at it, you can see a lot of stuff. Because this world is so multi-layered upon layers of timelines, truth and truth of seeing, truth of not seeing. It just keeps doing this. It's just in and out. And for the first time, galactically, I want you to hear this. Because like I say all the time, this is not my planet. I'm just here visiting. Yeah. Come down here, visit, do stuff. Then I leave. So here's the thing. I leave just like a whole bunch of you guys leave. So for 455,000 years, there's been a lot of time copping, a lot of eraser, and a lot of the sixth day. Now, if you want to take that a little bit deeper, you can actually take it into all the other forms of sci-fi things that come up that are supernatural. They put that on every single day to give you information. TNT, supernatural. Talks about it all the time. Supernatural. So I find it really interesting that in my notes, I had to keep jotting things down because it was just coming through so fast. But things like how energies are designed to just break down your ability to see the truth, to keep you in a fog. And my grandma would always say, be careful of that TV, that box, because it's a controller of your mind. And I said, what do you mean? It's just a place where, and I was young at that time when she was telling me this. She says, that TV is easily manipulated to keep people believing a story because they never get it, that it's just a television. It's a telling a vision. A telling a vision. Television. She says, learn to master your words. Learn about frequency. It's like turning a dial, especially in time clock. Learning how to turn into a frequency to find out where the soul went And now you got to go trace that soul through a time worm, a portal, because if that soul changes anything, it's going to cause a ripple effect across all the different timelines. It's going to change an outcome of something. Just wondering about that. Let me see what else Spirit is going to say. What's the other message, Spirit, you want to bring up? Oh, well, yeah. It is our time to shine. It is our time to shine. And you know, one of the most dangerous things about when you're waking up and you have, you're not running around in fear, you're not buying into scenarios, you're not watching the horror movies anymore playing out because you know that the characters are just making it up as they go along. You stop playing the part of the fear. You stop participating in it. And that is about to get very surreal. And all it takes is just people to just say no. I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to share this from a very strong point nursing view because I've helped a lot of nurses with their nervous system learning how to say no. And it's in those times when you don't learn how to say no and you constantly go, 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 give, 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 do. You're burning yourself out, and you get to a place where you start to get angry and resentful, and you burn your body out. All because you didn't know how to say no. You didn't know how to say no to that double. You didn't know how to say no. I'm not gonna. I can't take that extra patient because I'm overloaded right now, and I'm scared I might make a mistake. You didn't say no to, oh yeah, this is my fourth weekend I worked in a row. You didn't say no to that. You didn't say no to Betty Lou when she didn't come and relieve you for your shift, and she has done it several times in a 2-week period. You didn't say no to her because you had to keep changing your schedule because she didn't show up on time. You didn't say no to her because Betty Lou was already having emotional, mental fatigue issues going on with her body, and she didn't know how to deal with it. So all she could do is just call in. Learn to say no. I actually kind of got in trouble for it a couple of times because if my body was tired and worn out and I didn't have the energy to do something, I had to say no. Or if I didn't get a chance to have my lunch or my dinner break, which happens a lot in nursing. How many of us have stayed and worked on the clock or off the clock to take care of those charts because they scare you to death if you don't finish charting and something happens, you go to court, you can lose your license. So you work off the clock to fill in all those charts, and you don't have time to eat and take care of yourself, let alone go to the bathroom. There's a lot of places like that, and they wonder why they don't have any nurses. Why they can't keep nurses. Come on, do the info. If you think you can keep running the program in a negative way and people are supposed to just keep falling in line and staying with the scenario, it's not going to work. It can't. People are going to say they're done. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Because if you're not, then keep going the way you're going. Keep doing keep doing what you think you are so afraid of. Because fear is a powerful game player. And as long as you keep buying into the story and keep believing the fear that's linked into it, false evidence appearing real, false evidence appearing real, false evidence appearing real. I want you to think about that. Because in 455,000 something years ago, there was a lot of that and a lot of manipulation going on with our cells, our DNAs. Look it up. It's right there. And once the lies started, they had to keep the lies going to cover up the massive mess ups that has happened throughout all the bloodlines, especially through Africa. And I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about all the sacred texts that were misunderstood by a group of people that took those texts and fulfilled and did rituals which they didn't understand what they were doing and what the true meanings were. They misunderstood it. And so now they changed their belief pattern of themselves and their selves, and they started doing that. And they just kept passing it on and passing it on and kept passing it on. It's kind of sad when you misunderstand scripts, holy sacred scripts that were not meant for you to take in the first place. And that was something else my grandmothers had taught me. Don't take medicine of others when you know that it's not yours to take. Let me say that again. Don't take medicine of others when you know it's not yours to take. So let me wrap that up a little bit better. It's like this. You have a lot of people that go out and they put their feet into medicines and magic things, and they're, I'm putting my feet in this, I'm putting my foot in this, I'm putting my foot in this. Okay. Eclectic, nothing wrong with that. And then sometimes you pick up something and you it's not yours to take, but you're going to put your fingers and your feet in that and get it anyway. And you have a lot of people, like I've said before, my grandmother said that, they look for people that have gifts and they prey on them to get their gifts or to get whatever, how they got their gifts, because they don't have their own gifts. And these are the ones that get jealous of you because of your gifts, of what you have. Okay? Are you following what I'm saying? Because your gifts are so special. There are some people out there that really don't want your gifts to get out because they wouldn't have the upper hand on you. They can't continue doing it. False evidence appearing real is the number one driven energy factor frequency that is happening right now. It's really sad. Really, it really is. Because for me to be 55 years old and to really start reflecting on the fact that I'm on this planet with a whole bunch of other human beings, some are awake, some are sleeping, some don't know what the hell's going on, and they're just lining up. And don't ask a question, but you'll go ask a whole bunch of questions about the car you're about to buy or the house you're about to buy. You go ask a whole bunch of questions. If this is vegan, I'm just saying. Just saying. But you don't ask questions on How's that work? I'm just saying. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. I am just saying truth. And some of you out there see that. I am just speaking truth. How's that work? Because FEAR rules it. It rules everything right now. Every single day. That is your new companion. FEAR. Well, I don't buy into all of that shenanigans. Oh, I love this one. It shall be. Because the way things are shaping up and moving and coming undone, this message is solely to go into your heart and solely to allow you to see something, to think about what I'm saying. Why am I talking about grandmothers? What do? Why am I talking about those movies? Because this world we live in, there's another show that was really good. And now when I think about it, it's called Vampire Diaries. And Vampire Diaries, they were huge on doppelgangers. Oh, my doppelganger's out. Oh, my doppelganger. Oh, I saw my doppelganger's out. Doppelganger. We're dealing with a lot of doppelgangers. But most of them have been taken off of the planet. Thank God. There's still some lingering, making you believe a story. I'm telling you, I cannot wait. And I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm going to leave you with this one. And you're going to laugh. I cannot wait to see the Academy Awards. And what do I mean by that? Well, those of us that are awake know that it's just not going to be what we used to see. Yeah, because technology is so good. I mean, even in Mission Impossible, they know how to set up all this fanciness with masks and digital belief that you have technology now that can set up all this digital background and make it look real, like, the Hobbit movies, all that stuff. They're in the green room, and all they do is put up the background to make it look so surreal. Kind of like a Game of Thrones. Yeah, we're having a Game of Thrones right now. Yeah, bring the dragons in, please, hurry. Hurry up, bring the dragons in, please. Hurry. Everybody get on your dragons. Anyway, speaking of dragons, let me go back to something. Little Nas in the video. I am so grateful that I never went into the music industry when I was younger. Because I told my mom I wanted to be a singer. I wanted, let's sing some songs. I'm so grateful I never did that. There's a reason why a lot of them suicide. Because of some of the hideous things that they have to do that is not human. Like, they're not being human beings. Their souls are being taken. And this little Nas, I don't even have words for it because I know he's not there anymore. I know he got taken. Pretty much. Just like The Weeknd got taken. You can see it in their face, their looks. They're not the same person anymore. Gone. Now, I don't follow these people. I don't follow their music, not at all. But sometimes if something comes across and I have to see how the new complexity of stuff is happening, metamorphosizing a person, I have to take a look at that so I can make a note of it. This is what this new morphosing thing looks like now. How are we going to get this one off the planet? Mm. So it's kind of sad, but it's almost that sixth day, you know? A lot of sixth-day stuff is happening in the music world. You think you're looking at somebody, might not be the person you thought they were. Especially if they look a little different, like really young looking, like not a wrinkle on the face, but their ears are different. Yeah, their eyes are different. The jawline is different. And even the way they sound is different. Maybe a lot of sixth day is going on. Could be. Never know. And there's the contract. This is why in my work in Spiral Life, I have to do so many contract clearings, because what did that soul have to make an agreement on in this incarnation? What did you give of yourself? What did you get rid of yourself? So you can have number one song, so you can have this. What did you have to do for it? What did you have to give up of yourself and in a demeaning way to have that? Because someone didn't teach you how Infinite Water says it. Didn't teach you how to have your private label and how to get a hold of your masters. So you wouldn't be doing what you're doing right now. So timeline wise for him, not going to be around much longer, because once they extract so much of your soul essence, there's nothing left of you. You're just a puppet on a string. Bringing back around to Academy Awards. Now, this is going to be exciting because I can't wait to see how they're going to pull this off. Because there are some of these beings that are not on the planet anymore. They're pulling a sixth day and a time cop and an eraser. And in order for you to understand what I'm talking about, you have to watch those movies, because whoever put these movies together, they knew they were going to be used for a time like now. So Academy Awards, and the Academy Award for Best, I want to say it so badly, Actor of the Year goes to, is it blue or is it red? It's definitely not going to be the red. It'll be the blue. That'll win the Best Academy Award. How exciting. Oh, and then the Best Supporting Actor will be the one that is with that blue pill. And everybody that is not awake has taken. Yeah. So much fun being on this planet. You know, it's actually kind of disappointing because I really thought we would be faster along by now. Got a little bit of slowing down going on. But you know what? I find this very interesting because out in the cosmos, out in the star people are applauding us because they see the change happening on Mother Earth. They see Mother Earth rising up in her frequency. And unfortunately, some beings are not going to be able to stay on Mother Earth because her frequency is going to be too freaking high. That's why we're going to 5. 5, you thrive. 3, you die. I like that. 5, you thrive. 3, you die. That's kind of a way to end this video, isn't it? So I wanted to also leave you with this mathematical thing about how I feel about human trafficking. I find it disgusting that some of these beings have been getting away with this for a very long time. And did you know that today I find this out is $800 a head for a person. Now I want you to take that $800 and I want you to time that by 4,000 people. I want you to time that by 4,000 people who are coming over, not being able to be registered or nothing. Nobody knows they're over here, and they're going to come up missing. I want you to take that $800 and times it by 4,000 people. And look at the astounding amount of money that is. It's making more than drugs. Anybody that's participating in that, you should be removed permanently from this planet. Never, ever to incarnate on this planet realm ever again. Because when we get through this, this will not be happening to us anymore. All of us. It's not a brown thing. It's not a yellow thing. It's not a Mexican thing. It's not a white thing. It's a human thing. It's a human thing that's happening right underneath our nose, in front of our eyes. But don't worry, because it wasn't your kid or your wife or your daughter. You're not worried about it. That's somebody else. Is it? Aren't you a part of this consciousness? Aren't you a part of it? Because what happens to one happens to us all. Period. So I was really astounded when I saw $800. And you take that in times 4,000 people. And that's maybe a day or a week. Anyway, FEAR is doing a really good job. Don't you think? So, hashtag say no. Let your heart be open. Please watch those movies so you can see things even clearer and stop buying into the storyline of how my grandmother says, television. It's telling a vision. So, bless her heart, I love her. Always will. So, just wondering, Take a look at that. Take a look at that. Yeah, I would say things are about to get very interesting. The timelines are getting ready to reveal open stuff and can't stop these timelines. They're trying, but they can't because there's a governing factor. The source is governing it. Oh gosh, oh, the Academy Award goes to nanoparticles. I don't know. Just saying. No, I don't know. Gotta be aliens. I don't know. Yeah, this should be an interesting, when that comes out, should be very interesting to watch that. What will you be really seeing or watching? Will it be real or will it be digital? Because we're going into the digital age. We're already there. Should be interesting, huh? Yipper. All right, lovelies. I hope you got that info. Please go do your homework assignment. This was one of those movie, sci-fi, grandmother information. Stop inviting FEAR to your table, giving it caviar and champagne like it's your best friend in the world. Don't think so. Anyway, have a wonderful evening and sleep well and be so light. Go to 5 and thrive.